What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Weekly GCap, the only source you'll ever need to catch up on all the gaming news from the last week. As always, we got quite a couple stories to go through, so let's go ahead and get right into this. First things first, I just wanted to let you guys know that it has officially been 5 years since the last update on Metroid Prime 4. The last update that we got was on January 25th, 2019, and going even further back than that, the game was first announced at E3 in 2017, so hopefully we'll get it by the time the next Switch comes out. Hopefully. Next up, we got a release date for Horizon Forbidden West on PC. This coming from PlayStation Blog. Quote, "Hey everyone, are you ready to continue Aloy's epic adventure on PC? On March 21st, you'll be able to explore the Forbidden West, battle awe-inspiring machines, and encounter new tribes. Horizon Forbidden West is the beloved follow-up to Guerrilla's critically acclaimed Horizon Zero Dawn, and this complete edition for PC also includes the Burning Shores expansion. It takes players to a treacherous volcanic archipelago, however you're supposed to say that word, after completing the main quest," end quote. So, obviously, with this coming to PC, that means you'll be able to play this thing at like 4K with however many FPS you want, however many FPS your monitor can handle, and all sorts of crazy graphics and stuff. So it's gonna be really exciting to see what this game looks like at, its max settings. It's completely maxed out, and yeah, that's coming out March 21st. Next up, the Sterling Silver DualSense controller is available now. We had talked about this, a little while ago when we were talking about some stuff that was upcoming for PlayStation, and now it is officially out. So this coming from PlayStation on X, quote, "Bring an extra touch of class to your gaming setup with the sleek Sterling Silver DualSense wireless controller available today direct from PlayStation," end quote. I'll put a picture up on screen for you guys. As you can see, it looks really nice. It kind of reminds me of the like the silver PS2 from back in the day. If you guys remember the silver PS2 Slim, it looks really good. Next up, Palworld continues to set new records. This coming from Palworld on X, quote, "Total number of players exceeds 19 million. It's been less than 2 weeks since Palworld was released. Thank you. Steam sold 12 million copies, and on Xbox they have 7 million players. We will continue to prioritize fixing bugs. Thank you for your continued support of Pocket Pair." This is absolutely insane. Again, this game's only been out for 2 weeks. It's 19 million players, all those copies sold. Yeah, something tells me Palworld is, it's here to stay. Next up, we got a new trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, aka Budokai Tenkaichi 4, and, there's not too much new here, just some new gameplay, just real flashy. I am so excited for this game, it's not even funny. I put so many hours into the original Budokai Tenkaichi trilogy back in the day, and this just looks like more of that, and I could not be happier. And at the end of the trailer, we get a little glimpse at how many characters are in the game, and at this time, there is only 24 characters that have been officially confirmed by name, but if you count up all the things at the end, like the whole grid, there's 164 characters. Not DLC or anything. No, this is 164 characters we're going to be getting at launch. Granted, some of these are variants of certain characters, like there's Goku, and then there's Super Saiyan God Goku, and stuff like that, different variants. If you watch Dragon Ball, you know what I mean. But still, that's absolutely ridiculous, and, I'm sure DLC is going to expand upon that, and who knows, this could end up having, like, 200 to 300 characters by the end, but beyond all that, unfortunately, we still do not have an official release date for this game, but obviously, as soon as we know, I'll let you guys know. Next up, the Celeste sequel is available now, and it's free. So, it's called Celeste 64, and on the site, they say, quote, "Relive the magic of Celeste Mountain alongside Madeline in a small, heartfelt 3D platformer created in a week-ish by the Celeste team to celebrate the game's 6th anniversary. Controller recommended," end quote. So, again, they created it in about a week or so. So, this is essentially, whatever you want to call it, Celeste sequel, Celeste spin-off, just, another Celeste game. And again, it's free on Windows and Linux. Unfortunately, it is not on console. I'm hoping maybe we can see a console port at some point, but, it is what it is. Even if they don't, it's free on Windows and Linux. I played through it myself. It's not terribly long, but it is a lot of fun, and, it's super nostalgic. Nice throwback to the N64 era platformers, hence, the name Celeste 64. So, I can highly recommend this one, and again, it's free. Next up, Universal Epic Universe was announced. This coming from IGN, quote, "Universal Epic Universe is being called Universal's most ambitious theme park yet, and it looks set to include over 50 attraction, entertainment, dining, and shopping experiences. These experiences will be spread across Super Nintendo World, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk, and Dark Universe and Celestial Park. It is opening in 2025 at Universal Orlando Resort." Next up, a new guitar was announced for Rock Band 4 and eventually Fortnite. This coming from IGN, quote, "After teasing something last month, PDP officially announced the Riffmaster, a new wireless guitar controller releasing this spring. PDP Riffmaster will be compatible with 2 games, Rock Band 4, which released its final DLC last week, and Fortnite Festival, once Harmonix releases an update that allows the game to support Rock Band guitar controllers," end quote. So at this time in Fortnite, unfortunately, the only way that you can play that, the musical mode in the game is via, like keyboard or controller, and yeah, that's not the same thing as the experience we would have got back in the day with like Rock Band or Guitar Hero or whatever. So this guitar that PDP is coming out with this, it's sort of looking like the next generation, the new generation of like Rock Band guitars, and hopefully this leads to more being made, because I'm just gonna say, maybe it's my nostalgia bias for that era, but we've been long overdue for the revival of the Guitar Hero / Rock Band style of game. Sure, as it was mentioned in this article, the DLC for Rock Band 4 was just released last week, but I'm talking about getting it back into the mainstream. Next up, Spec Ops: The Line was delisted from digital storefronts, and unfortunately, it has little to do with the game itself. It's really just because there was licensed music in the game. You can still get it physically on the PS3 or Xbox 360, and if you get it on Xbox 360, it is still backwards compatible on Xbox One, Series S, and Series X, and if you purchased it on Steam in the past, then you can still download it, but unfortunately, if you didn't purchase it before, well, there's no way you can purchase it now. And again, it's really a shame because the only reason I had to get it taken down was because there's licensed music in the game, and it's one of those games that used to go on sale for like literally $3 on Steam or even like, like Xbox 360 and stuff. But if you're ever interested in this game, which, it's a very good game, I would highly recommend anybody that's a fan of video games, period, to play because it's an absolute masterpiece. You can still get it physically on PS3 or Xbox 360, and I'm sure there's probably some keys floating around on some sketchy sites out there somewhere. Next up, the new Deus Ex game was canceled after 2 years of development. This coming from Bloomberg. Quote, the Swedish gaming company Embracer Group AB is canceling a video game in the beloved Deus Ex series after 2 years of development and will lay off a number of employees as part of an ongoing initiative to cut costs, according to people familiar with the moves. Eidos Montreal, Canada-based studio behind the game, will instead focus on an original franchise. The canceled Deus Ex project, which has not yet been announced, was slated to enter production later this year, said the people speaking anonymously because they are not authorized to talk to the press. The company did not immediately respond to a request for comment, end quote. So this is really unfortunate because if you played Mankind Divided, which was the last Deus Ex game, you would know that game left off on a cliffhanger, and instead they're making Eidos Montreal cancel this game and work on an original franchise. If Embracer Group is trying to recover costs from the $2 billion that fell through, would it make sense to make another game in a series that is quite beloved and always sells quite well in the 10 to 50 million range as Deus Ex does? I don't know. Embracer, I knew from the start that them buying up all those studios was going to be a mistake, and yeah, here it is. Next up, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is literally completing itself. This coming from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League on X. Quote, we're aware that a number of players are currently experiencing an issue whereby upon logging into the game for the first time, they have full story completion. To resolve this issue, we will be performing maintenance on the game servers. During this time, the game will be unavailable. We expect this to take several hours and will update once we have more information. We apologize for the inconvenience, end quote. So this has since been fixed, but it's just, I had to report on it, man. Like, this game, oh gosh, you know what? We're moving on to the next story. Next up, former Volition devs have formed a new studio. Now, if you're unfamiliar with who Volition are, they're the folks behind, like, Saints Row, for example. Yes, even the good Saints Row games, it's just, obviously, don't blame Volition for the way that the most recent Saints Row turned out. Blame upper management. Volition had very little to do with that, but anyway, this coming from TechRaptor, quote, a group of veteran developers who used to work at Saints Row Studio, Volition teamed up to form a new studio named Shapeshifter Games. The studio, revealed on LinkedIn, is headquartered in Champaign, Illinois, and is intended to be a co-development studio. This means that the plan is to partner with other developers and publishers to support them in the creation of their AAA games, end quote. So they're not necessarily going to be, like independently developing games or making, like the main ones developing games like they were while they were making the Saints Row games. Instead, they're going to be like co-development, sort of like how Call of Duty has like 50 different studios working on the games. It's essentially going to be something like that where they're just going to be helping other people out. But still, I have a lot of love and respect for the folks that used to work at Volition, so I'll definitely be following this studio closely. Next up, 1,900 plus layoffs have hit Microsoft. This coming from The Verge. Quote, Microsoft is laying off 1,900 employees at Activision Blizzard and Xbox this week. While Microsoft is primarily laying off roles at Activision Blizzard, some Xbox and ZeniMax employees will also be impacted by the cut. The Verge has obtained an internal memo from Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer that confirms the layoffs. This is a little lengthy, so please bear with me. Quote, it's been a little over 3 months since the Activision Blizzard and King teams joined Microsoft. As we move forward in 2024, the leadership of Microsoft Gaming and Activision Blizzard is committed to aligning on a strategy and an execution plan with a sustainable cost structure that will support the whole of our growing business. Together, we've set priorities, identified areas of overlap, and ensured that we're all aligned on the best opportunities for growth. As part of this process, we have made the painful decision to reduce the size of our gaming workforce by approximately 1,900 roles out of the 22,000 people on our team. The gaming leadership and I are committed to navigating this process as thoughtfully as possible. The people who are directly impacted by these reductions have all played an important part in the success of Activision Blizzard, ZeniMax, and the Xbox teams, and they should be proud of everything they've accomplished here. We are grateful for all of the creativity, passion, passion and dedication they have brought to our games and players and our colleagues. We will provide our full support to those who are impacted during the transition, including severance benefits informed by local employment laws. Those whose roles will be impacted will be notified, and we ask that you please treat your departing colleagues with the respect and compassion that is consistent with our values. Looking ahead, we'll continue to invest in areas that will grow our business and support our strategy of bringing more games to more players around the world. Although this is a difficult moment for our team, I'm as confident as ever in your ability to create and nurture the games, stories, and worlds that bring players together. Phil, end quote. So, unfortunately, this is not the last layoff story that we're going to be talking about today. This is the second one for today, and it's not the last. It's been happening all over the industry, and I say it every time, but my heart truly goes out to the folks that are affected by these layoffs, and I hope you guys are able to find another, sustainable source of income or work soon, and, yeah, sending prayers your way. Next up, 61 layoffs have hit Sega of America. Now, this wasn't announced, officially, but, it's one of those things where it got out there before they could have announced it, and that's even if they were planning to announce it, because sometimes these companies just don't announce these things, and they try to sweep it under the rug. But anyway, this coming from What Layoff on X, quote, "Layoff alert, California, Sega of America, Inc. at 140, whatever, lists off an address, will lay off 61 employees on March 8th, 2024, as indicated in a California WARN notice," end quote. So, that's a little over a month from now, but it's still 61 employees that are going to be losing their job. Again, this is just something that keeps happening all across the industry. And there was even another thing that I saw, I believe it was for GameSpot. They were facing some layoffs as well, which obviously they're not a game development studio, but they're still a gaming publication. So this expands even outside of, like, the publisher and developer realm, and it's even affecting, like, publications and such. It's absolutely insane. It's a sad time, and again, my prayers just, they go out to anybody who's been affected by all these crazy layoffs in the industry, and I hope that this levels out soon. I hope that this is just a rough patch for the industry, and things will get better soon, but unfortunately, something tells me that there's still going to be more to come. Next up, we got the February PS Plus Essential Games for you guys, those being Rollerdrome, Steel Rising, and Foam Stars. An amazing lineup here, and it is worth noting that Foam Stars is a day one release into PS Plus Essential. This is essentially going to be like Square Enix's new live service game, but again, if you have PS Plus Essential, might as well redeem it, might as well try it out. Looks like it could be fun. And finally, we have a recap of the state of play that happened 2 days ago from the time that this video is going up. We're just going to run through everything that was shown off, release dates, all of that. So anyway, first things first. Helldivers 2 got a new trailer and it releases February 8th. Stellar Blade got a release date of April 26th. Sonic X Shadow Generations is a brand new Sonic game, and it includes a remake of Sonic Generations. Zenless Zone Zero is coming to PS5. Foam Stars just kind of showed off some more gameplay ahead of its release, February 6th. Dave the Diver is getting a Godzilla expansion. V Rising is also coming to PS5 this year, but there was no release date shown yet. Silent Hill: The Short Message, Shadow Drop for free on PS5, which you can go redeem it now and just add it to your library, download it. It's sort of like a PTS thing. It's pretty cool. Silent Hill 2 Remake got a brand new trailer, but still no release date. Judas got a new trailer, still no release date. Judas is being created by the original creators of, like, the original BioShock. Metro Awakening, which is like a VR game that looks pretty cool, taking place in the Metro universe, aka, like, Metro 2033, Last Light, Exodus, those games. Legendary Tales drops on PSVR 2 on February 8th. Dragon's Dogma 2 got a new trailer. Rise of the Ronin got some gameplay, and that's going to be coming out March 22nd. Until Dawn is getting a remaster. There's no official date, but it's expected out later this year. And again, yes, Until Dawn, the PS4 game, getting a remaster for some reason. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach got its full title, that being, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, and it's coming in 2025. Kojima talked about his, like, action espionage game, part movie, part game, lifelike visuals, and that was right at the end. There was, like, no trailer for this. Basically, like, everything wrapped up there with Death Stranding 2, and then Kojima just kind of came out and just kind of talked for a bit about this. So, people are assuming that this is going to be like a Metal Gear-esque series or game or something like that. Again, we don't know too much, and some people are even thinking that this might not be out until, like, PS6, so still a ways off, not even in development or production yet, but they came out and announced it, just kind of talked about it. And then finally, at the very end, they announced that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to be getting its own state of play. Like, literally, I'm talking in the last 20 seconds of the video did they come out and talk about this. Like, the last 20 seconds of the whole video. But they did also put up a tweet, so, we'll go ahead and read that. This coming from PlayStation on X, quote, "There's more state of play on the way. Tune in next Tuesday, February 6th at 3:30 p.m. PT or 11:30 p.m. GMT for an extended look at Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. See you next week." End quote. All in all, there's a lot of amazing stuff that was announced or shown off or just shown again here at this state of play. And yeah, 2024, it's looking like another great year for gaming, just like last year. February just began. January was a great month for gaming. February already has some great stuff lined up. And yeah, I'm super excited. yeah, I'm excited. But anyway, that's all the stories that I have for you guys this week, so now I'd definitely love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on everything that we talked about? Whether it's all the insane layoffs happening across the industry, whether it's, I don't even know, what all did we even talk about today at this point? What did you think of the state of play? Just whatever it is, whatever you think, and I'd love to hear from you guys. But anyway, this is Weekly GCap. New episodes go live every single Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, so if you catch them as soon as you go live, well then I know when to be here. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.